Hey guys, Laura Reich here, and I wanted to do this live stream because it's something that I've talked to a few people about. It's also something that I am doing myself, and so doing stuff with people is always more fun, right? So I am going to be looking a couple different places. I'm using my phone for the live stream. I have my notes on my laptop, so if I'm not looking straight at the camera, I do apologize, but that is what is going on. So if you are jumping in here and joining me live today, or you are catching the replay, type in your name and where you are joining me from, so that I can acknowledge you on here. I'm also just going to take a quick second and share this into my group. So while I'm doing so, again, just introduce yourself so that we can say hello and people can see where everybody is joining us from. So, all right, today we are talking about the brain dump. And this is something that I always do once a month, if not more than that. So it depends on how I'm feeling, where I'm at, what I need to try to get done. Okay, so I know a lot of you are moms that watch me and follow what I do. So if you are a mom, we're going to talk brain dump here. If you are a mom and you have ever put down the kids, gotten lunch done, cleaned up the living room, and sit down in front of your computer to do that to-do list that you know you have, but you just can't get it done, type in the comments, "That's me." Yeah, that's me. So, if you are a mom and you've laid down in bed, it's 10:30, the kids are in bed, you did all the dishes, the house is picked up, and you just can't go to sleep. Your mind is just overactively going. Type in overactive mind or type in overactive. Just put it in the comments below, you guys. Like, seriously, these are things that I go through every single day. Last night, real story, I had literally the most unproductive day yesterday. If anybody was with me, they know I tried to do a live stream. I tried to get some work done. I was online. People saw me. I was there, but it was not productive. And long story short, what happened is we had construction unexpectedly that I didn't know was going to be happening on our streets by our house. So my little would not take a nap. So by 9 o'clock, Dave was home trying to get the littles down, and I just needed to get work done. And I sat in front of my computer and I was so stressed and I had so much going through my head. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. I had ideas. I had tasks that I had to get done. I had all this stuff, and it was just literally overwhelming. And so I want to know, have you been overwhelmed? Like, have you been overwhelmed? I have figured out a way, and it's not science, it's not rocket science, it's not new. I've learned it from other people, but I figured out a way to basically flip the switch. And I call it a brain dump. You may call it something different. That's totally fine. But what it is when you are distracted or you are stressed out or you're struggling to figure out what you have to get done that's actually going to be profitable for your business, that is what I do in my brain dump. That's how I brain dump it, and I figure it out, and it gets me through. And then what happens is not only does it get me through that point, but when you've brain dumped, then say 2 weeks later, you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't even know what I should do next. Like, maybe your course sold better than you thought, and so now you want to do a new digital course. Maybe your ebook is downloading, or your funnel is working, or your social media is active. And now you're like, okay, what's that next step? What do I need to do next? You go back to your brain dumps. that's where your good ideas are. So this is not only helping you move forward right now, but this is also helping you give yourself the ideas that you already had and keep yourself accountable. Like maybe this was a really good idea and you've been thinking about it for 2 weeks from when you wrote it down, but now you're like, now I have the time to get into it. Where did that idea come from? If you've brain dumped the right way, you're going to be able to figure that out. And so it's really cool. It's your thoughts, your ideas. It's basically going to be like your kids. It's, or whatever you want to call it, but it's things that need your time and attention, and they're going to keep popping up in your head until you go back and say, okay, I get it, you need my attention, this is what I'm going to work on now. And then it helps you make sure that not only are you figuring out how to move past what you need to brain dump on, but you're also figuring out what's going to be profitable, what's not going to be profitable. What do you need to tabletop right now until you figure out that you have more time for your idea that came to your mind. So basically what I recommend is that I got into journaling a few months ago. Actually, I think it was when Wyatt was 2 or 3 months old. There are some really fun journals, and they're just blank pages, but they have, like, the one I have on the bottom of it has a verse of the day, and other ones have, like, motivational sayings and quotes at the top and things like that. So if you want any fun links or recommendations, non-affiliate links, comment in the comments below, and I can get you a link to some fun journals. But what I did is I just purchased a spiral bound notebook journal, and at the end of my day, or if you are a morning person, right away in the beginning of the morning, if you can remember what you thought about the day before, I prefer at the end of the day, you go and you will eliminate your distractions for the next day. And so for me, it's actually shown that in my life, it's proven to help me sleep better that night, especially when we're going through this sleep, whatever they call it, bouncing backwards. I forget the word, but it's like, regression, sleep regression. So my 9-month-old is going into sleep regression right now. And so he acts like he is, a 3-month-old, but I get better sleep no matter what. So it's going to help you get better sleep, eliminate distractions. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this journal and you're going to literally write down, I break my page into 4 sections, and you're literally going to write down anything that's on your mind. This is not to be used as your to-do list. This is not for you to write down, I need to check in on this client, I need to set up this email. This is not the time for that. You can have a different page for your to-do list, and that will come later when you're done with your brain dump. But what I do is I take my page and I separate it out. So the first 5 lines are personal, brain dump. What can I do to be a better mom? What can I do to help myself with dinners and plan better? We have traveling baseball right now. So are there things that are on my mind in terms of traveling baseball in my personal life? What dinner is going to be? Anything that's causing an issue in my mind for my personal life, I just dump it out on here. Whether it's an issue, whether it's a good thing that happened that I want to remind my kids and give them affirmation for, a book that I saw that I want to read on my personal time, if that ever happens, just anything. This is my personal section for it. Then next, I move, to the business. So I have a couple different streams of income coming in. So I have a couple different businesses that I'm running. So each business gets its own section. Anything that's on my mind for the business, I pour it out. It could be full sentences. It can be bullet points. But again, this is not a to-do list. This is not things that need to get done. This is just ideas that are on my mind, something that's stressing me out, something that frustrated me today. Whatever it is, put it down and then just leave it. And then I do home, anything that needs to be done on the home front, whether it's things that like we need to get a new garage door. So did I call the garage door? It's stressing me out. You know, how much is it? Is it budgeted? Whatever is on my mind about the house and what needs to get done at the house. Sometimes this can become the same as personal. So if you wanted to just do 3, you can just do 3. So you would do personal, you would do business, and then you would do other. Literally anything else that's on your mind. If it has to do with extended family, if it has to do with travel, if it has to whatever, put it in that section. And so then you've got all your thoughts and ideas down. And now what I suggest is do not look at this again. Go to bed. Leave it there. Go to bed. It can take up 5 sheets. It can take up 5 lines. If you feel like there is nothing else you can think of, you are done. You did it. I mean, you brain dumped. You're done. You will be able to now go to sleep. Then in the morning, if you are not a morning person, whenever you are ready, the kids are off on the bus, whatever, whenever you can sit down again for the next 5 to 10 minutes alone, you've got all your thoughts and ideas down on paper. I'm sorry, I need to grab some water here. I got something in my throat. Ooh, sorry. So, if you wake up in the morning and now you have all your ideas, they're down on paper, you maybe forgot some, doesn't matter, you've got it all down. You want to then figure out and identify your 1 through 3 step goals, the projects that you want to do, and order them first, second, and third. You don't have to push yourself to have 3. You could have just 1. That's totally fine. You could have 10. That's totally fine. But I want you to break them out into sections of personal and business. And then I want you to sit there and say, what is the most important in your mind from this list that you brain dumped last night? And then going from there, you're going to have your goals and your projects and your action steps, because then you can look at this and say, okay, you know what? Number 1 was I have a new course idea and what that new course idea is and when I want to get it done. Okay. So number 2 could be, I need to sit down and write emails out for the next month, for the business. Okay. Great. So now, which one is going to bring in more money for your business? Which one is actual profitable activities like sales conversions, reaching out and building your relationships, sales copy, email copy, following up with people, inviting people to a webinar that you have, making sure that you go live on social media, repurposing those things, like whatever it is, however it fits in, make sure it is going to be a profitable activity. If it's going to be a profitable activity and it's not just something that needs to get done and it's operational, then you can go in and figure out, okay, based on the profitable activities, which one needs to be number 1, 2, and 3. And then on the things that are actually operational, like they need to get done so that the business still runs or so that life is still running, then label those out 1, 2, 3. So that's basically how you can go through and brain dump. And then from that, I kind of went into a little more, like you can make it into your action steps. So you write down what you're grateful for, your brain dump, your anything on your mind. You go back the next day and you organize it into your action steps and what's actually going to help you. And if you do this every single day, it's, for me, 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. And when you get into that routine, you're going to find that you feel yourself being that much more productive and getting that much more done. And then you don't always feel stressed out. Like, the reason this is actually coming up for one of my friends and my clients is because there's so much information out there, you guys. It's like information overload. Like, you can sign up for every single email list. You can sign up for, all these things. But if you're not actually brain dumping and coming up with your own ideas and figuring out what's going to bring your business money and how you can grow as a person and in your relationships and things like that, you're not going to move forward. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to basically have shiny object syndrome, which I know some of you have heard before, where shiny object syndrome is basically where you like everything you're seeing, and so you go, oh, squirrel, oh, I need to do this, I need to do email marketing, I need to do live streaming, I need to be doing Facebook ads, I need to be setting up a new sales page, I need 5 courses a month that just magically pop up. That's what's going to happen, and you're going to all of a sudden sit there and go, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere in business, I'm overwhelmed, my business isn't working. If you've ever been overwhelmed and you've ever struggled with shiny object syndrome, let me know in the comments, because seriously, girl, I've been there, okay? I get it. But this brain dump process helps you to take a step back and realize what you actually need to focus on, what actually is that shiny object syndrome, or ADHD, ADD, I guess not ADHD, but you get what I'm saying. Like, my client is a coach for ADHD, so that's kind of in my mind right now. But yeah, just when you do that brain dump and you really sit there and focus on what is actionable and focus on what is profitable and just write it all out, you will take away the chain that is held around you saying you need to be doing X, Y, and Z 50 different directions and running a mile a minute. And you will start to be able to focus in and hone in on what your business needs, what your family needs, what your personal life needs, what your needs are, and be able to get those done within that 24-hour day period so that you don't feel like at the end of the week you didn't get anything done. So that's what I've got for you guys. If you guys have any questions or you have screenshots of your personal brain dump, share them with me. I will share a comment and a picture below of one of my brain dumps. It's messy. It's got 50 different colors. I've gone in there and scratched stuff out. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just fun, you guys. It helps me. It keeps me sane. It keeps my mind fresh and going. And then again, it keeps me accountable, because once a month or every week or every 2 weeks, I'll go back in and I'll be like, you know what? I have time now. Let's look at one of those ideas and see if they're actually still relevant, if they're going to be good ideas, or if they were just kind of a thing on the whim that I saw somebody else doing and I thought it would be good for my business. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you thought that this was helpful, or if you want to go more in depth with it, just type it in the comments and you and I can take a conversation offline in Facebook Messenger, and I will try to help you as much as possible. Us mamas got to stick together. All right, ladies, my child is currently sleeping. So now that I have done my live, which was on my brain dump for last night, I need to get back to business. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.